Well, Ben, we are back in the saddle,
Back in the saddle.
and you got the cowboy hat to prove it.
Absolutely.
I'm rare coin expert Walt Durham,
And industry veteran Ben Parker.
and we are the coin guys from Texas. And I know it's been a little while since we've been on. It's been crazy busy, as y'all can imagine, with gold prices going through the roof is the best term
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I can think of. Fun show was in January. Everybody kind of takes off, the end of the year. And that's kind of when our last episodes. But nonetheless, it's season 2, and we're going to be talking about the new Privy coins coming out. I keep wanting to say Star Privies.
Yeah.
I have to calm myself. But the new Eagle Privy coming out for 2025.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool. We're going to give you all some information that probably you don't have. I would imagine nobody has.
I'm going to bet they don't have it.
I'm going to bet they don't have it. I just got off the phone 10 minutes before this to talk with a distributor about them. And even many distributors don't know what's actually going to happen, but that's coming up.
Real quick, spot prices. This has been an exciting year so far. We've seen a lot of records be broken for gold. We talk about the gold to silver ratio. Silver's still a little bit lacking. I think it's a great buy right now. But gold's at 2,883. It's down a little bit today. We've been over 2,900 for the most part.
Yeah.
But silver is also down a little bit today. It's at $31.44. Platinum's at $951 and palladium's at $898.
So I like what you said there. I do think silver has a lot of room for breakout. We watched silver go from $22 and some change to as high as $32, $33 here recently. That's a great, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and they've never invested in precious metals, and they were like, what are you going to do with silver and gold? They're like, you can't eat it, you can't. And I'm like, well, that's not the point.
Yeah.
You could have taken something as small as $1,000, put it into a savings account at one of the best rates you could have got last year, which was probably like 3 or 4%. And at the end of the year, you're going to have a $40 return on that $1,000. Man, if you would have put $1,000 into silver, come in January of 24, you would have over $1,400 worth of silver right now. That's a $400 increase in your money. Everybody talks about the price of eggs. 1 ounce of silver buys more eggs today than it did a year ago, even though egg prices are up.
Yeah.
That's what wealth protection is. But as far as gold, people were like, well, some people are on the fence like it's way too high to start buying now. And I don't think that's the case. I think we could legitimately see, and this is not my prediction for 2025, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to put it that way. It wouldn't surprise me if we seen gold above 3,500. There's not much resistance after 3,000.
Right.
And it would not surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, if it got over $4,000 in 2025, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Do you have a prediction on where you think gold's going?
Okay, so last year I made the prediction by year's end it was going to be 2,430, and that was blown out of the water
Early.
Very fast, within months.
Yeah.
So this year I'm going to say 3,500's too conservative.
You're going to say 3,500 is too conservative?
Too conservative.
Okay.
I'm going to go for 3,720 by
3,720
by the end of the year.
3,720. So I'm going to hold your feet I didn't hold your feet to the fire last year about your prediction, but I'll hold your feet. 3,720. Listen, nobody's got a crystal ball. At the end of the day, gold's trending upward. There's no signs to show that things are correcting in our economy and stuff is going to go down. Yes, the Trump administration is coming in and doing new stuff. I'm not going to say it's good stuff. I'm not going to say it's bad stuff. They're doing new stuff.
It's new stuff.
It's new stuff, right? No matter what side of the aisle you're on, we can all agree it's new.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, you're not going to fix the problems we've been having fiscally so quick.
I don't think you can even fix them in 4 years.
Probably not. And I always relate it to this is, we spend 120% of GDP. So, you have to start. I know everybody's on, the shit list about Doge.
Yeah.
But you might not like the way he's doing it, but we have to do something. You know, it'd be like, and most of it's revolving debt. So therefore, that'd be like your household. If you made $100,000 a year and you were spending $120,000 every year, and the extra 20 was going on credit card every year, eventually it's going to catch up.
Yeah.
And so what happened is dad comes home and says, all right, we got to stop this. You're not playing select baseball anymore. And that's kind of what's going on with Trump. He's like, okay, we're stopping. And it hurts. It stings. It's shocking to people, but something has to be done.
It's necessary.
It's necessary. I'm not going to argue whether it's right or wrong. Everybody's got an opinion, but you know what they say about opinions, and I just won't go there. But I really think that silver is really interesting to me. I just bought a new bag, you know, those old bank bags with a lock on it, and I brought it home and I said, I'm going to fill this up with silver bars this year because I really think silver's undervalued, even at 31 and 32. I really think, I mean, there are many analysts predicting 50 an ounce, which seems so far away. But there's a lot of things that point to that. There's, you know, the economy, inflation, the gold to silver ratio.
That's the big indicator for me personally is the gold to silver ratio. And a normal market, we've seen on average, I would say between 70 to 80 on the ratio. I want to say right now it's close to 100. And that's a strong indicator that now's the time to buy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, in 2011, we talked about this a lot. Silver hit $48, $49 an ounce. Gold was nowhere near it where, you know, today.
Right.
Nowhere near. And so it seems so far away, but I remember a few years ago, people called experts and precious metals companies who said gold's going to 2000. People called us crazy. Like this crazy talk. Gold will never go to 2000. And here we are debating if it's going to hit 3 within the next month. I mean, we've hit a new high in gold 9 times this year.
Yeah, 9 times so far this year.
9 times. So $50 silver is not too far-fetched. I would, and I really like wholeheartedly believe that.
A lot of people believe it's going to go a lot higher. And I don't want to say anything egregious and say that it's going to go to 100 by the end of the year, but it does indicate that it is a good time to buy silver, and 50 is not unreasonable.
And if it hits 40, you're not going to be mad. It's probably going to give you a better return on your money and preserve the purchasing power that, you know, that's just because it doesn't hit 50 doesn't mean it's a failure. Just like gold's been, you know, the whole talk for the last year, but people fail to realize that silver went up by 40%.
Right.
And which is great. I mean, and it just gets no press. So I think gold's still a buy. I think silver's definitely a buy. And if you want it to be heavier in silver, the problem with, you know, moving large amounts of money into silver is weight.
Yeah.
and
storage and weight.
Storage and weight and stuff.
Takes a lot of it to really do something.
But speaking of silver, so the big news around the block is I think they're going to call it the America Series. The U.S. Mint's coming out with an Eagle Privy in 2025. That's the talk of the town, right? So early word is this, and nothing is set in stone. I want to make that clear. Nothing is set in stone.
Right.
But from, you know, sources that are close to the situation, I feel like what's that with Adam Schefter on NFL Network? Sources closest to the situation. We're looking at 2025 Eagle Privies. It'll be an Eagle Privy mark as early as April. The first 50,000 in April.
April.
So you didn't see you don't
that's
even know
quick.
that. I literally just got off a phone call.
See, I was anticipating
another late release. Yeah. So this from what it looks like. Again, nothing is set in stone, but
as early as April.
And then 3 months later, the other 450,000 would be released.
Wow.
And let me tell you something. And this goes to everybody watching this. We talked a little bit about the 2024 Star Privies at the end of last year, and we didn't know. Nobody really did. I talked to U.S. Mint distributors, and they were like, "What? What are you talking about? Like this is What do you?" And you know, it was all tied with the 8th era gaming.
8th era, yeah.
Yeah, I try to forget it because it's just stupid.
Yeah.
This is the way I feel about it. I think the Mint did a horrible job marketing it. But hindsight's 2020. And, the first 50,000 came out in November, and then in December 15th, you had the other 450,000 come out. And I was wrong because I was just like, it's very confusing. You made the point, leave the game out of it. It's the first ever Privy mark. And I think that's cool. And I did think it was cool. And I still do. But no, it escaped everybody because everybody was focused on the game instead of the actual coin. So let's talk about the actual coin. Here's what we know about the coin. It was struck at Philadelphia, which is notoriously been horrible at striking silver eagles for some reason, whether it's the process after they strike them, whatever, they don't grade well. And that is a fact. They only minted 500,000. So it is now the rarest silver eagle mint state in U.S. history. It's the key coin.
Yeah.
7 times rarer than the 1996, which in 70 is a $10,000 coin. It's a conditional rarity, right? I'm not saying that the Star Privies will be $10,000, but for what you can buy Star Privies for right now,
extremely undervalued.
Listen, we got offered the Star Privies at the first 50,000 at $72 a coin in November of 24. And they sold out so quickly through our private dealer networks. Look at them now.
Yeah.
Look at them now. So I think if you would have to guess the percentage of the coin collecting population, how many people know that the Star Privies exist?
Out of everyone that collects coins, probably 18 to 20%.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to say somewhere between 60 and 80% of the Silver American Eagle collectors out there don't even know what this coin's about, because we talk to customers day in and day out, and they're like, huh? When did this happen? Not everybody keeps up with news like us and, people who are constantly on YouTube and trying to find information. So once the rarity becomes known, I think they've already trended upwards dramatically, and I think the prices will keep going. And now there's one thing I want to caution people. There's various pricing for the Star Privies. There's the first 50,000 release, certified as the first 50,000 release. That is a very rare population. Obviously, only the first 50,000, and that's all there will ever be. And then you have the secondary release. First day of issues are more valuable than non-first days, just because of strikes. And I've said this before. Some people, especially on the internet and YouTube, will argue, well, first day of issue doesn't mean anything. And I can point to
there's specific situations where it absolutely makes a difference.
Look at the 2021 Morgan and Peace set. In 70 first day of issue is considerably more. 20 to 30% more.
Even coins with first strike.
Strike, yes.
They have a big difference in value.
2002 Silver Eagles and First Strike 70. So we bought a big group after really researching. We got a big group of the first 50,000 PCGS certified.
Right.
I like them because only 2,500 3 boxes were submitted to PCGS. The other 47,000 were submitted to NGC. Right. So in all of my years of doing this, in a new release for PCGS to only see one of the world's largest grading services, to only see 2,500 coins, I think that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Out of the 2,500 coins, only 878 coins certified in perfect 70. That's how bad they're grading. I'm not going to say that it's just the way they strike it. It might have something to do with the way they handle the coins after they strike.
Yeah. So, and that's some of the more information that we're getting now. And as a general rule of thumb, if there's a new Silver Eagle that's struck, which they're famously done at West Point Mint right now, I would say the grade conversion rate for those coins to go from raw to 70s between 60 and 70%, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Somewhere in there.
And it might vary year to year, but for this specific process, we find out that, all of a sudden, if you look at these coins, there's something about that star that seems just a little bit different. It's a Privy mark, but they struck this 2 times. It was struck as a silver eagle, and then the Privy was struck separately. So for Philadelphia, who's notorious for making bad strikes, for them to basically increase the room, the room for error on a coin, they strike it twice. They doubled the odds that it wasn't going to be a 70 already.
Right.
So
There's more handling. And
exactly.
I know this. So the 2015 emergency Philadelphia issue is one of the more valuable of the silver eagles out there. In a 70, we know by mintage records that 79,000 and some change came out of Philadelphia in 2015. That coin in 70 is $4,000.
Right.
Somewhere, 3,000 to 4,000. You might even see some pedigrees, 5 or 6 or more. We know that that's a great coin and it's a valuable coin, but you can't. There is no difference in that coin versus a 2015 that was struck at West Point.
Yeah, if you were to break it out of that holder, the only identifier is the label itself.
So it's very plausible that a lot of silver eagle collectors say, I don't need the P.
Yeah, they don't need that emergency issue, but
What I like about the 2024 Star Privy is that collectors need it. It's a different coin. You can clearly see it's a different coin. It's the first ever Privy mark put on a Mint State Silver Eagle. Collectors are going to want it, need it, and have to have it. So I like, and I'm not saying that the Star Privies are going to get the $4,000. I am saying, though, they're considerably undervalued. And I will my mouth is writing something that I can cash.
Yeah.
I'm telling you they're undervalued, especially the first 50,000. The first 50,000, again, it's not only the first 50,000, but there's so few in 70. We all know Silver Eagle collectors collect modern coins in 70. It doesn't mean that 50,000 coins need to go away for the market to dry up. With the PCGS first 50,000, you only need 878 coins to go away.
yeah.
And we're really close to making those go, almost all of them go away.
Yeah, just here.
Just here.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of coin companies across the country and plenty of online dealers. And
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
it's a matter of when. So I really like the 2024 Star Privy where it's at now. And I think you are insane if you're a Silver Eagle collector and not jumping on those prices right now.
Oh, yeah.
Insane. But 2025s are coming. Don't make the same mistake. Get in early because the U.S. Mint's not going to do this for 20 years. I don't think they're not going to do this for 20 years and do privies. They could do it for 5. They could do it for 10. Maybe they're leading up to something special in 2026. They may only do 3. They may only do these 2. With the Eagle Privy, the Star Privy, and maybe a Flag Privy. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think if you have the wherewithal and you have the smarts to watch this show, then you should know that you should buy the Star or the Eagle Privies that are coming out.
Yeah.
So as we get more information, we're back in the saddle.
Yep.
We will definitely keep you all abreast of the situation. I have close contacts with these. We will offer them, but at bare minimum, even if you're not buying from us, you will get the information as soon as we get it. Literally, the information I just gave about April being
less than an hour old. Yeah.
Less than an hour old. I made some calls and said, "Listen, I'm talking about the 2025 privies, and I want to know a little bit more information. Nobody's talking about it. There's one article on the internet from November of last year talking about it. Collectors want an update, and I want to be the guy to give them the update.
There you go.
And so that's what we did. So I think if you haven't got a 2024 Star Privy, that's a must. And get your funds ready to buy some 2025 Eagle Privies. I think, again, it's going to be a good series.
Absolutely.
You got anything else, Ben?
That's it.
Well, guys, until next time, we will be right here back in the saddle.